I'm here with Jason Warner, the Ubuntu desktop manager at Canonical, and we're back in Orlando, Florida for the UDS planning cycle for 1204 Precise Pangolin. And Jason, you guys had a lot of big goals in the 11.10 cycle and even before that. What were those goals exactly and how did you meet them?
And our goals were quite ambitious by a lot of regards. So we had a complete platform transition to GNOME 3, pulling in all those bits, which included a lot of GTK3. So from a platform, I kept on saying this was a very shifting sands platform release, and by all measures we think it was a very successful release, landing all the upstream DX and Unity bits, and so not only did we transition a full platform, we transitioned quite a bit of the UI as well.
So in looking at 1204, looking at the Pangolin cycle, what can users expect to see coming out of this LTS?
Obviously, I don't think Mark chose the name lightly when he said precise, and so I really like that choice, because when I look at 1204, I think of just the precision of the various elements of the desktop, precision in getting little bugs, little tweaks, little things finished. And I'm hoping that users will really feel that this release, 1204, is about small touches that they may not find sexy in a release note, but once they use it, like, now I see what they were spending their time on. That's really hoping that aha moment is for 1204.
Well, I know even this is only day 2 of UDS, and even Monday and even half of the day today, quality has been talked about a lot. It's been emphasized a lot. How do you see that emphasis being placed with your team, and how is your team reaching out to the other areas of not only Canonical but the community as well?
I think nearly it's uniform across the board. Everyone here at UDS is talking about quality, talking about bringing it in, things that they can do to tweak it. So I think that there's this real buzz and real enthusiasm about quality. Not that it wasn't before, but people just recognize that we had a really big release. Now we're going to shore up the loose ends, and this release, this 1204 LTS, is going to be fantastic from a quality perspective. And then even the community is coming back and contributing. We see a lot of bugs. We see a lot of different lists being produced about things that we could tweak and things that could be looked at. Even in the Unity interface, design teams getting little things that they can look at too. So just tweaks and things like that. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think we're going to have a lot to work with.
I think you are too. And in Mark's keynote, he mentioned that he's actually looking 2 years out, and you guys as Canonical are actually looking 2 years out to 1404, and what that means, and across multiple platforms. What does that mean exactly for you and your team?
So it's always tough. I mean, we're going to release now 1204. We have 6 months to work on this, but we always need to be looking out. So if you look LTS to LTS, 2 years looks like a long time, but when we get right down to it, it's going to be here before we know it. So things that we're looking for is we want to have that stable platform so that as we bring on more upstreams, they have a very stable platform to work on. Feature-wise, things like that, where we want to, I don't want to reveal too much in terms of like what we want to do, because all these things could change, but I'm really looking for a complete UI refresh. We've talked a little bit about some theme, we talked about icons, we talked about various elements that we could tweak and put in. There's a lot of things that we could change. I'm hoping that our platform stays relatively stable in that time period. I don't see GNOME releasing a brand new release in that time, but I'm sure there'll be major revisions to Keynote applications in there. See what we can do with LibreOffice, see what we can do with Firefox, various things like that. Desktop doesn't nearly look as far out as a lot of other groups within Canonical, because we look out to what our upstreams are looking out. So we kind of aggregate it in their roadmaps.
Well, I know last cycle was very exciting for me as a user. I'm looking forward to seeing what this next LTS brings, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what your team really integrates on my desktop personally as a user. So is there anything else you want to talk about before we wind up the interview? Like, how can users get more involved with your team and contribute to your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to the desktop team, we are very community oriented, and getting people involved with the desktop team and the Canonical and Ubuntu communities in general would be fantastic. So a lot of sessions this week on how users can give feedback to the design team and get more community oriented around the design team. So I encourage people to look up those sessions or talk to various members of the design team or desktop team, and they'll point you in the right direction. We really want to get more feedback on the direction of the design and what people think, because the more ideas we get, the more likely that all the best ideas rise to the top. We don't want any of those echo chambers.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me here at UDS-P in Orlando, Florida. And like I said, looking forward to this next release cycle and beyond. So thank you.
Thank you.